January hit, and January of 2019, and I had ran out of all the $7,000 I had, all of it. I'd spent it all, blew it, couldn't believe it, and I didn't have a job the whole month of January 2019. I think actually I'd worked at a call center, and I hated it. I was like, this is stupid. Going and making calls. I think I'd worked there for like 2 weeks and I made $300 or something. I don't really remember. But I had a really good roommate. That, in terms of finances, he helped me out, and that was kind of him. But I should have been learning my lesson. I was putting all the bills on him, and it was immature of me. Very immature. So I didn't have a job all of the first month, and I'd actually had I think I'd had a warrant for my arrest because of expired license plates, and which is crazy. Expired license plates or unpaid tickets or something. I had because in 2018 I think I got like 3 tickets, speeding tickets, and it was nuts. There was so much just going on, and I was so paranoid with what I was doing, what I always had on me, who I was around. The paranoia was real. And so then I get to the end of 2019, January 2019, the first month, and I realize that I am in trouble. I'm doing bad. I'm doing real bad. Finally, I realized that. And I remember I was sitting in my apartment, and I was really, really, I can say depressed, but I was just really low. It was dark, and I was high as a kite. And I was looking down, and I was like, God, if you're real right now, I really need your help, because I'm losing it. I don't know. I'm floating in space right now, like in terms of life. And as soon as that happened, I felt 10 times higher than I was. Euphoria. And I remember I turned and looked at my desk in my apartment, and I saw my Bible, and it's like it hadn't existed. It's like it hadn't existed for a long time, just sitting there. And then I looked at it, and I was like, oh man. And so that was a God moment, straight up. That I can't explain it. You can't. People who've had those God moments where those crazy things happen, you don't really need to explain it. It was just that happened. So February 7th, I remember February 7th, 2019. I had been praying for a job, and I needed a job that was close because I had expired license plates, and so I couldn't drive around very much, or the cops would catch me with expired plates, and I had a warrant, I'd get caught. And so I was like, please give me a job that's close. Give me a job that's really close. I didn't have enough money to fix the warrant stuff either, or the tickets. And I didn't want to talk to my dad. I didn't want to call him. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want anyone's help. Especially, God was the only one I felt like I could ask for, but it was like I didn't know one guy. I still didn't know. I was still scared of everything, of getting help. I didn't want help. I never wanted help. I always wanted to be a lone wolf. I wanted to be strong and tough on my own, and I can take the weight of the world. I can handle it. I can do it. And slowly but surely, I was realizing that I couldn't. So February 7th, 2019, I applied on Facebook Messenger, and to the Hampton Inn and Suites on North Glenstone. And I remember they messaged me back. They're like, yep, we need a housekeeper, whatever. And I was like, cool, sweet. I will come in for the interview. And that was just right up the highway, go left on I-44, and it was quick. It was easy. I remember every day that I went there was only one cop I'd ever see, and he was parked on I-44 between 65 and Glenstone. And every time I drove past him, I was like, all clenched up. I was like, please don't see me. Alrighty, it's obviously a little darker outside. I'm sorry, the camera died and I needed to charge it for a while. It took some time. Also, there's a stray cat that keeps running up, and so if I get attacked by a stray cat, don't be surprised. Anyways, back to the story. So, Hampton Inn and Suites. Where was I? So I went into the interview, and I got interviewed by two ladies, and I remember I was like, I need this job. I was completely honest. I haven't had a job. I cried during the interview. I was like, I'll do anything. Like I'll do the worst job. I'll do whatever I got to do. Just please let me, let me be here. And they ended up hiring me. And so I was a houseman / housekeeper, which is actually something that had never happened. No one was both. And so I was like, oh, sweet, I'm the houseman, housekeeper. I'm both. The only reason there was no housekeepers and housemen is because technically houseman was a male job and housekeeper was a female job. But I was like, I'll do anything. They're like, okay, you're gonna do both. And so I did both. And I remember working there. I had to make beds, clean toilets. Sorry, I'm looking around for that stray cat. Everything. And it was quite the experience. And another thing about it being at the Hampton Inn and Suites on North Glenstone. On North Glenstone, there's a lot of homeless people, and it's the tougher part of town in Springfield. So I got to be around a lot of people that I think back then I might have been judgmental about. I'm not really a judgmental person, but maybe I was more back then. I don't think I've ever really been judgmental. But I think I was pretty young and prideful, and I would say God definitely put me in that situation to let me know that, hey, you haven't done there's no reason you need to be acting and feeling the way you do, and you need to get a grip on reality. So I think that was a really cool experience, and giving people the opportunity to talk for me to talk to them and them talk to me, that maybe in high school I wouldn't have cared to even talk to them because they're homeless or whatever. I don't even know. But I was at rock bottom. So I was talking to everyone. I was like, hey, what's up? How's it going? And so I remember when I started working there, every time I'd be cleaning the rooms, I started to listen to the rap channel. And I was listening to the rap music or whatever. But eventually, because I'd also been really out of shape. I was really skinny, really bony. I'd only eaten 2 Wendy's chicken sandwiches per day because I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. And I remember the Wendy's right by my apartment. I was eating 2 scrounging up change and eating 2 chicken sandwiches per day. And it was tough. It was rough. It was not ideal at all. But when I started working out, I started reading my Bible more, and I started running, and I just started to do better for my spirit and my body. So then eventually I'm working at the hotel, I start listening to the gospel channel and while I do my rooms. And so I did a lot of different things that, I was trying to reach for God, but I was still abusing drugs. Because that wasn't ready. That was part of me. I didn't want to stop doing that. It was, I hadn't lived a life without it in a long time, and I wasn't thinking I was about to start. So then I remember one day in July, Luke Rogers, as I'm cleaning a bathroom, Luke Rogers calls me, and he's like, hey, Mason. But when I shouldn't have picked up the phone, because I shouldn't be looking at my phone while I'm cleaning. But when I saw his name on my phone, I was like, holy crap, because I hadn't talked to Luke in so long. And I was so ashamed. I didn't want to talk to him. I was scared. I don't think he'd even known that I got arrested. He does now. But I don't think he knew that for a long time. And so he called me, and I picked it up. He's like, hey, Mason. And I was like, hey, Luke. And I was stuttering, almost crying. Because I loved Luke so much, He cared for me so much, and we made some awesome memories. in the previous year. And he's like, I want to know if you want to come and manage for me and run these fairs by yourself this year, 2019, for the fair season. And as soon as he said that, I broke down in the bathroom. I was just bawling, crying. I was like, yes, yes. I was like, yes, of course, thank you. And that was really awesome. That was God working in my life. That was God saying, you've started to take some steps towards me. And so I think he blessed me with that opportunity again. He blessed me from the start when I met Luke Rogers in 2018, because then Luke came back to me, and Luke was, I can't say enough about Luke Rogers. But so I went back in July, and I started working for Luke again, and I ran my fairs. We did pretty well that year. I ran some by myself, most of them by myself. I mean, I think I only did a couple of them with Luke, but the rest of them I did by myself. And that was a really cool learning experience, maturing experience. Being somewhere for 10 days by yourself as a 19-year-old, and you're carrying, at one point you have thousands and thousands of dollars on you because of the money you've accrued over the fair, and then you go stay in this motel or hotel or whatever. It was pretty crazy. It was definitely an adventure. Not to mention all the people you see at these fairs, and all the, there's any kind of people. Imagine going to the fairs. Every kind of person exists at the fair. The rich, the poor, the stinky, the not stinky, the good looking, not good looking, whatever, they're all there. And so those times were just, I can't say enough about those fairs. But so anyways, into the 2019 fair season comes, and that's in like October of 2019. And so I'd done the fairs for the last 2 years, but they were seasonal, so I could only, do them July through October. And so my dad was kind of asking me, because I'd actually moved in with my dad, because I had to move out of the apartment at the beginning of that 2019 fair season. He's like, what are you going to do, Mace? What are you going to do? What do you think about doing for the future? Because this isn't really long term. And he was right. It wasn't. It was just kind of, seasonal. And it wasn't going to be something I could do forever. And I still didn't feel like I had a purpose. I still didn't think that I had a particular skill. And so at the end of the day, all I wanted to do was make my dad proud, make him happy. That's pretty much the only thing I've ever wanted to do, is make my dad proud, make my dad happy. That's like one of the biggest things I want to accomplish. And so when he asked me that, and he kept saying, you can join the military. And so finally, because my dad was in the military, finally I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do it. I'll join the military. And, but I didn't want to do Army like him. I wanted to do Navy because I wanted it to be my own. I still didn't feel like I had a purpose. And then so going into the armed forces, I still felt like I was just going to be a 2.0, like, oh, his dad was in the military, so he's just going to go in the military. And he didn't really know what he wanted to do, but so he just did that kind of thing. So I wasn't really happy about it, per se, but I knew it would make my dad happy. It would make him proud. And so I would say that was the end of 2019.